Welcome to the PLO Cash App Playoffs on ESPN. We are in Foxborough, Massachusetts, Gillette Stadium, home of the New England Patriots. Today it's the home of the PLO Quarterfinals. Whipsnakes and Waterdogs just moments away from getting going. And Staggs made a comment to me about, hey, he knows all the shooters so well. It's one of his strengths. Look at Sowers jumping, and he scores!
This is a fearless dodge from Michael Sowers, dive rather. You could see it coming about, he caught this, 4 or 5 yards behind goal line, extended, full head of steam, it just goes airborne. Hey Michael, it's RB up in the booth. Fearless dive there. I know you saw that open space, but how did you anticipate those Whipsnakes closing on their slides?
I mean, they're really organized defensively, so they'll spike up off the base a good amount.
Let's see the matchups. Waterdogs give up the equalizer.
And it's Zed Williams coming out of the box. So strong start for him after a quiet and kind of like an awkward, like how do we get him involved? But from the wing, you see him just post up. Gobrick, he rolls inside and then flashes a little twister there. Watch him change his stick angle right here at the last second, pulling that stick across the face of his helmet. This could be a beautiful camera angle to demonstrate the mechanics.
RB, and talking to Coach Stagnita in warm-ups, he mentioned
Dordovic shoots, scores. Nifty little bouncer gives the Whipsnakes the lead.
Rookie of the year continues his strong season, but you gotta know the scout. He loves this rollback. So as he goes underneath here, if you're Witcher, just let him go that way. You can see Witcher over pursue a half step, 1 step too many, loses his footing. Dordovic takes advantage of that. On that rollback, he drops his hands and whips it around Witcher, using him as a screen.
Staying on the offensive end, 28 and white. Here's Morrill. He gets a step. Ward makes the save. Sowers, short stick. Got it to McCardle. He finished.
That's the connection we talked about. And Waterdogs in this first quarter, Sowers has already got a goal. And now he finds his running mate, McCardle. He draws all the attention, the double team. McCardle finds that open space, catch, finish, tie ball game.
Ready to go here. A hot day like today, man. You could use that bar down on the run. Good job by Courier, just getting that shot on net.
Bingo. Oh,
that shot's better than on net. It's in the back of the net. McCardle's second on the afternoon.
you could hear it from up here, but it starts with Courier. You pointed it out, high IQ play, just getting something on net. So you get a reset. The two-man game, McCardle drives up and he uses that pick by Courier. His defenseman goes underneath of that, and that allows him to get his hands free. And on that recovery by Dunn, McCardle uses him as a screen to bury it. Cursed earlier.
Yeah. Check that, that's Dordovic. Will shoot on the run and score. That's a beautiful goal.
And what's telling for me early is Waterdogs, you think of their defense, slide, slide, slide. All four of the Whips goals so far have been unassisted. And Dordovic goes right at Reese, the long pole. No fear, no problem. He's got the quickness. And I talked about that rollback earlier, but he has the capability if he's able to generate a step and let it fly with his left hand.
Bernhardt, good looking side behind the back score. Beautiful pitch, catch, and shoot. Connor Kelly, known from firing two-point shots. How about a gorgeous one-pointer right on the doorstep? All knotted at 4.
This is the Whipsnakes offense in a nutshell. You trust your midfielders to win their matchup, freeze it right there. Here's the slide, right? So there's the double team. We're just gonna ping this behind to one of our two quarterbacks, and then you're gonna get this dot, this little cut inside by Connor Kelly. So draw a slide, just move it forward, and here's Kelly right on the doorstep, and he uses that behind the back shot to increase his angle.
RB, question on the slide. Was it necessary so far from the goal? Rambo. Shoot, scores! Ward's upset with himself as you hear him banging on the crossbar. Rambo's been doing that all game long. He finally decided to take advantage and take the shot.
And you think about the staples of the Whipsnakes offense, Rambo and Williams. Historically speaking, against the Waterdogs, they shoot 23%. They're second lowest against any opponent. The Chrome being first, Waterdogs being second. So they've been able to neutralize these two. Not today. Strong start for both of them. You can see the patience by Rambo. Little step back jump shot, if you will. Goes underneath. Randall doesn't bite, and he kind of fades away to get his hands free.
Can't get anything on it. Ball just lost right in front of him, and he picks it up. Good look, finishing. That was outstanding play, picking up the ground ball, finding Courier cutting, and quickly with the goal. There's Puglisi.
Yeah, very similar to their last goal, where you've got the initial dodge by a Waterdogs midfielder up top. They slide and support. Hannah lets it fly, and we'll have to see where this hits Puglisi, like right in the neck. You can see him immediately take his helmet off, and behind the play, you get the ball to McCardle, you cut through the middle, through that opening as the defense is recovering. And signature Courier, it's not a dive, it's like a jump up. That way you kind of get the goalie off his line, and that allows him to reach around. Oh.
The stick in the neck, it's the follow through on Hannah's shot.
Rambo's got one, Williams has got one, Dordovic too, so the stars are showing up.
Here's another one right there for Sowers. Sowers has been relatively quiet the last couple of weeks in terms of goals scored. I think he realizes in September it's playoff time, it's time to go.
Playoff time, and not really using a pick. He feels like he can win this foot race kind of on his own. And that's going up against Matt Dunn, one of the best in the business, former defenseman of the year, and he just turns on the Jets. Whipsnakes trust that matchup, so they're not ready to slide or support. And when he gets upfield, he drops his hands. The important thing there is him scoring left-handed. You look at his splits over the course of his career. Left-handed shooting.
10 to shoot. All kinds of traffic. Ward goes down to make the save. Still operating on Dunn. Look at that shot. Just wraps it around Dunn. And Matt Dunn, apoplectic. Looks back at Bernlohr. Doesn't even know where that shot came from.
Hey, Michael, it's RB up in the booth. You had a two-man game set up there, but it seems like you don't need a pick here, and you feel confident in your one-on-one matchup.
Yeah, I mean, I think the pick just takes the guy away from our top, makes it a 4-on-4 instead of 5-on-5. So
the field, here he is. Beats his man initially. Back to the middle of the field, so big, but Ward is able to go down. Look how far Ward came out.
And that's what Charlotte was talking about earlier.
And that's what we were talking about earlier. Didn't we mention Matt Witcher with big goals in September last year? Here he is. Stays on the field, on the break, and he's able to beat Bernlohr. Now a two-man game behind. Zed will try shovel, gets it to go. You can see that coming. Had to step on his defender.
And what the Whipsnakes have done tactically speaking, you brought up his name. So off of a face-off, they've got Dordovic in attack in place of Manny. So you got a dodging threat that's already out there. And when you run Williams out of the box, now you go from a dodger in Dordovic right to Williams in the re-attack. So So good adjustment there by Whipsnakes in terms of like, how are we gonna manage this 32-second shot clock? Let's get Dordovic out there.
On the far side, it's Bernhard. So Jake Bernhard says, okay, Matt Witcher, I'll see your defensive midi goal and raise you
That's
one.
a big goal. That is a huge goal, getting production out of Bernhard. Obviously fantastic short stick D-midi. That's his first goal in 2023. The Whipsnakes off a face-off typically like to keep some of their wing personnel on the field. So we saw Bernhard earlier playing at X, like as a feeder. Here, he aggressively goes down the alley and then wisely gets his stick back to the inside. That allows him to increase his angle and sneak one by Ward.
He did not take that draw for him. I mean, this is a carbon copy. Is it going to be like this all afternoon? 22 in purple is on absolute fire, and he's getting it done in a very similar way every time down the field.
And this is the exact thing that happened last year in the playoffs. Whipsnakes just didn't have the defensive personnel to keep up with Sowers' foot speed. And I brought up the shooting splits earlier, Cotter. It's one thing if he's going up the right hash and finishing that. To date, right, coming in 17% on his career shooting left-handed. So, okay, what are we gonna do? Let's force him left, right? Just force him left and take your chances. This is his second left-handed goal of his 4 today.
Takes and wins the draw. Ward gets a piece. Rambo giving chase.
But the important one is that second slide. Are they talking, communicating through it, so that they have someone coming, crashing down to McCardle?
There he is. Rambo's got a shorty on him. He's going to power his way up top. Shannon Chuck for 2. Ward sees it.
The Whipsnakes down 2 men, 3 straight penalties. The Waterdogs could have stepped on him right there.
And it may be a goal on the other end. It is!
Yeah, this is a huge missed opportunity for Waterdogs. You have to sense moments within a game where you can put your foot on your opponent and just push and squeeze. And the Waterdogs let up. They let the Whipsnakes off the hook, and now 2-goal swing, maybe a 3-goal swing with the potential 2-pointer on a power play, and Morrill answers. That is a huge juice goal and a huge couple-minute stretch for Whipsnakes.
And a chance for the Waterdog. The Whipsnakes rather score. Big goal at the end of that first half.
Exactly what he didn't want. No transition. This is a couple, 2 huge goals for Whipsnakes down the stretch here. Pushing in transition, you advance the ball, and Manny just aggressively steps into one. Good lead pass in terms of getting the ball upfield early. That allows you to kind of probe.
Here's Tucker.
Goal.
He shoots and scores. Hits the far pipe, and it beats Dylan Ward.
Hat trick for the Rookie of the Year. And he scored down the alley with his left. He scored on a rollback, and now down the alley on his right. Absolutely drilling this pipe. I mean, the accuracy on that shot. Running out of daylight, down the angle, and he peppers the bottom left corner.
Coming out of the box. Swims, back to his right, help comes, gets it to Hannah, who scores. In front, Dordovic's gonna shoot for 2. Ward sees it. Save made by Phipps. Sowers trying to use a pick, gets an open look, it bounces it home.
His 5th of the day. And this one from the deepest range all day. Waterdogs love this 2-man game in transition. You can see Higgins set that pick. A little bit of hesitation by Dordovic in terms of stepping out. That's the airspace that Sowers needs to step in one and let it fly.
Now Sowers on his own. Double team comes, shot by Walker, saved by Phipps, that's 3. Good catch. Ward with the save. Scarpello comes out of there with it. 11 saves for Ward. Scarpello can shoot. Phipps makes the save, gets it back. Foxborough, Massachusetts, Dordovic. He shoots on the run, Ward sees it. McCardle finishes with just 1 second on the board. Sowers played that to perfection.
Beautiful patience, allowing the penalty to expire, holding it to ensure they got the last shot of the quarter. And now that the Whipsnakes are sliding, he goes from a dodger, kind of creating his own shot, to now, once I draw the slide, I pop away, I find my running mate, and McCardle, pretty much a carbon copy to that action earlier. He finds airspace on that near pipe on Phipps, who looks like he was kind of guessing a little bit to that far pipe.
Kerr shoots, bouncer. Ward goes down and then has to go up to save the bouncer. Here we go. Walker, the extra pass in front. McCardle scores. Brad Smith breaks the drought on the run. Walker, McCardle, man, poof. Second time we've seen that exact same combination today, and it's worked every time. Chance for the Whips in transition. Warner will shoot from 2. Ward just solid. Shannonchuk is going to try and get an easy one. He does. So we mentioned it before. It could be make and take it for the Whips with PD at goal, but they got to move quickly. Here comes Shannonchuk. He'll fire on the run. The bouncer, Ward sees it all the way. And that will do it. You won't want to miss that one. Our final score, Waterdogs 15, Whipsnakes 12 for Ryan Boyle, Charlotte North, and our entire crew. I'm Chris Connor. Thanks for watching the PLL on ESPN. We'll see you at 5.